Hello guys and welcome back. So now in this video we will be adding the cutscene. Okay, so for that first of all we need to add the guards which will be standing in front of the palace. Okay, so we can drag and drop this first guard. Okay, you can find this inside the characters folder. Then let's add the second one. Okay, this will be the second guard. Move him right there and move the other one to that position like that. Okay, so these will be the two guards. Then in here we will be adding this character. Okay, so make sure that you add this character as well. Then after this we need to add this character, so drag and drop this one as well. Rotate it to -180. Move it right here to the ground. Okay, then move this characters right down below as well. Click on this character. Then let's name this as boss, for example. Okay, so when you set up the characters, now we need to create a timeline. So right here, if we right click, okay, we can't find it, let's click on cutscene, and right here let's right click, click on create. Okay, I have already created a cutscene but I have deleted that one. Okay, click on create, and right here click on this timeline. Let's name this as cutscene. Then let's create an empty game object right here. So here it is. Let's move this object right here. That is it. Okay, name this as cutscene as well. Then what we can do is we can drag and drop this cutscene in there. Okay, on top of it, and then it will select this playable director. Okay, it will create this component. So when you do that, then select these characters and everything and create an empty parent for them by the name of cutscene1. Okay, so now inside this cutscene we will be adding all of the things. Okay, these are all of the characters and everything. Okay, so now what we want to do is to double click on the cutscene and it will open up this timeline window right there, or you can add the timeline window from this sequencing as well. Okay, which is under this window. You will find this sequencing, then timeline. Okay, so now let's click on this cutscene, and while selecting the timeline, now let's create our cutscene. So first of all, if we click on that, then click on animation track. In here we need to add a animator for the characters. Okay, so first of all let's start from this character, the boss. Okay, so click on cutscene, actually this cutscene right here. Okay, and then drag and drop the boss in it, and it will give you this option, create animator on boss. Click yes, click on that, and then if you click on boss it will create an animator like that. Okay, then what we want to do is we want to create now the dialogues. Okay, so inside the cutscene, click on characters, we have the dialogues right here. Okay, the animations. So if we drag and drop the boss in it, as you can see, this is the boss talking animation. Okay, sitting talking. So what we can do is drag and drop this in there. Okay, let's move it in there, and let me do this. Okay, let's click on the scene view, move this scene view right here so that we can see this character talking. Okay, so now if we play the timeline, as you can see, the character is sitting and talking, but we need to position this character accordingly with the animation. So if we click on boss, okay, let's move this boss right here on top of this chair like that. Okay, then if you click on cutscene, as you can see, he is sitting in there. So then click on boss again and move him down below. Then click on cutscene. As you can see, is now moving inside the ground again. So let's move him a little bit up. Okay, then click on cutscene again. As you can see, it is taking some place now. So I think like this it looks good. Okay, so if you play the timeline, as you can see, this is the character talking. Okay, so he will be saying that this ninja or this thing is giving us some headache and something like that. So go and find this knight. Okay, you can add your own audio on this, okay, while this knight is talking. Okay, so I want to cut this. So as you can see, to cut or to split the animation, we use the S key. Okay, so if we move this right here, okay, let's split it right there, delete the other half. Okay, so he will be talking like that, that this knight is giving me a headache. Go ahead and announce the bounty on him. Okay, something like that. Okay, so this will be the dialogue of this one. And if you don't know how you can add your audio, then okay, click on this and click on audio track. Okay, and then inside this audio track you can add your own audio files. Okay, just like we drag and drop the animation, you can then drag and drop the audio file in here as well. Okay, but as you know that we didn't add the audio, so we will just leave the animations like that. Okay, you can add the audio by your own. Okay, so this is the first dialogue. Then the next dialogue will be of this knight. Okay, so if we search right here, okay, actually when the boss is talking, this knight will be standing and listening to the boss. Okay, so now let's add another animation track, and in this one drag and drop the knight, click on create animator on knight. Okay, we have this idle animation right here. Okay, the knight will be standing like that. So let's drag and drop this animation in there. Actually, let's expand it and drag and drop it like that. Okay, so now as you can see, the knight is standing. Let's duplicate this 3 times by Control D, and let's split right there and cut it. So now it will be like this, as you can see. Okay, the knight is in the idle, as you can see. Okay, so when the dialogue finishes right here, then there will be a time for the knight dialogue. So now let's say add this animation. Okay, like this knight will say whatever you say boss or something like that. Okay, so drag and drop this animation in there. Okay, so if you play it, the knight will be goes like this, whatever you say boss, and then we will cut the cutscene right there. Okay, and when the knight is talking, okay, we want the boss to sit quietly. Okay, so for that what we will do is we can leave this as it is, because as you can see, the boss is just in the idle mode, as you can see. Okay, like he is listening to the knight. Okay, that is it. Okay, so this is the first dialogue for the boss, and then there is the dialogue for the knight. Okay, and then you can add the audio by adding the audio track. In here you can add the audio source, and as you know, the audio source will be this main camera audio source. Okay, drag and drop it in here, and then you can add your own audios in here according to the talking animations, and you will be good to go. Okay, so now we have this right here all set up, as you can see. Now the next thing is to animate these two as well. Okay, so we can create 2 more animation tracks, and let's drag and drop the first one, click on create, then the other one, click on create, and let's add this idle animation to both of them. Okay, so let's drag and drop the idle in there, then duplicate it, add the idle for the other one, and simply duplicate it. And guys, let me tell you that you can use some other animations if you want as well. As you can see now, they are being animated as well. But as you can see, they are a little bit in the air. So if you click on this first character, move this inside the ground, this one as well, then if you click on cutscene, now they are still in the air, so we need to change the transform of them in here. So how we will do that is to add a override track, and this override track will be for their transform of it, for this castle guard transform. So we can name this as transform. Okay, then click on record. First let me check. Okay, it is this guard. Okay, so let's click on record, select this guard right here, and move him to the ground like that. That is it. And if you stop the game now, as you can see, the guard is on the ground. Okay, now let's do it for that one. Okay, animate the transform for this one. So if we select that one, let's click on add override track, click this and change it to transform. Okay, and then click on record. Okay, it is this one, so let's move him to the ground like that. Okay, stop recording, and now as you can see, they both are on the ground if we play the timeline, as you can see. Okay, so now we need to add a camera, okay, in order to create a scene, okay, a cutscene. So the camera will be moving like this. Okay, for example, from this position in the forward direction right here, then it will show this this one. Okay, and then it will rotate to the night like that, and then we will cut the scene. Okay, or something like that. So for that, in the cutscene one, we need to create a camera now, and this camera will be the cutscene camera. Let's remove the audio listener from this camera, and as I told you that if you want to add audios, okay, then the audio need audio source. Okay, so you can assign the audio source of the cutscene camera. Okay, you can add an audio source to this cutscene camera and then drag and drop that inside that. Okay, simple as that. But let's just not talk about it. Okay, and let's design this. Let's animate the main camera. Okay, so as you can see, this is the camera. Whoops, let's move this camera outside. Right here, and let's rotate it to 180. Okay, and then we will be animating this camera as well. So we will move this camera. You can notice the camera right here. Okay, we will be moving this camera like this. Okay, and move it a little bit right here. Okay, we will be setting the camera like this. Okay, so let's move it outside like that. Okay, place it right here outside this palace. Okay, like this, and then click on cutscene. Okay, as you can see, this is the cutscene. Now let's add another animation track. This animation track will be for the cutscene camera, so drag and drop the cutscene camera in it and then create animator on cutscene camera. Okay, and now let's animate the cutscene. Okay, so if we click on record, okay, and select the cutscene camera, okay, so the cutscene camera will start from this position. Then let's move this cutscene camera forward. Okay, we will be moving it forward when the boss is talking, but actually let me delete this, okay, for the cutscene camera. And when the camera will be moving inside, okay, so once the camera move inside, then we will allow them to talk. So how we will do that is select these animation, move them a little bit right here, okay, and then at the start let me duplicate this idle and move this idle right here, okay, and then the sit talking animation, we have the sit talking. So what we can do with the sit talking is move it right here, or actually we can delete that and add the sit talking animation again. Oops. Okay, like this. And then right here when the knight talks, okay, right here we will cut it, delete that. That is it. Okay, so now we have a little bit time for the camera to move inside. Okay, that is it. On the cutscene camera we already have now the animator, so we can move out right here, add animation track again, drag and drop the cutscene camera, and now let's animate the cutscene camera. Okay, so let's click on record, select the camera, so it will start from this position. You can notice it right here. Then when they are talking, move this right here, okay, somewhere right here, and move the camera inside like this, okay, somewhere right here. Okay, then move the camera, I mean this right here, move the camera a little bit like this, and then rotate it like that, okay, and actually move it up there a little bit and a little bit closer. That is it. Let's stop that and let's see how well the timeline looks. Okay, so if we click on game window, let's move the game window down below. Okay, then click on cutscene. Let's play the cutscene. So as you can see, there is the camera, and don't worry, when we will be playing the cutscene, we will not be showing any of these things. Okay, the player UI. So as you can see, the cutscene will be like this. Okay, okay, it is looking good. Let's click on the scene window, and then I think it looks good. Okay, you can animate the camera even more if you want, but I will leave the camera as it is. Okay, I think our cutscene looks good, as you saw. Okay, so now let me move this game window and this scene window right here. Okay, this is the game window. Okay, so this is the cutscene. Now our cutscene is ready up. Now what we want to do is to play this cutscene whenever we start a new game. Okay, so with our cutscene created, let's end this video right here, and we will be sorting all of the things out in the next video.